So in this video I'm going to talk about 4 reasons why men are not getting married today. And then at the end I'm going to give you tips or things that you can do to influence a man to marry you. So this video is for women. So this video is for women in a romantic relationship and they want to get married, or they might not be in a romantic relationship as yet but they want to get married in the future. This video could also be for women who are already married and maybe having problems in their marriage. And in this video I'm not telling you how to get a relationship with a man. I'm not telling you how to get married. I'm not telling you how to get a serious commitment. That I don't know, right? In this video I'm going to tell you reasons why men are not really getting married today, and then give you tips and insights to influence the man to get married to you, or to increase the chance for a more serious commitment that can lead to marriage, right? So also in this video it might seem that I'm talking bad about women. At some point you might feel attacked or you might feel triggered at some things that I'm going to say in this video. But my intention in this video is for you to become aware of certain issues and try to be a better person in your relationship to increase the chance of being asked by your partner to get married. And hopefully if you have some of these bad habits you can change them and correct the things that are hurting the chance of you getting married and being asked to be in a more serious commitment, right? So one of the first reasons why men are not getting married today is because they believe and they heard from their friends that they would have less sex in marriage. And this could actually be true, right? Because women withhold sex when they are upset, when they are disappointed, when they want to take revenge, when they are angry, to get back at their partner. So yes, they could be getting less sex if they get married, because some women they withhold sex when they are upset. Also, some women, you start to become unattractive. What I'm trying to say is that you let go yourself, you become obese, you think that you can do what you want in marriage, you stop taking care of yourself, your looks, you wear ugly clothes at home, in public, you generally look bad at home, and like for example, you're always in your bonnet, you wear anything at home, you wear anything in public, and when you step out in public, you are representing your partner. Especially if you're already married, when you step out in public, you are representing your husband. So that is why you need to always look attractive and take care of your hair and your nails and your skin, and to wear clothes that fit your body, right? And to take care of your body shape and your body weight, right? Some women, they think that they are already married and now they don't have to do anything to keep the man interested, and they start to become unattractive, right? And that could lead to men not wanting to be intimate with you, not wanting to have sex with you, and this could also lead them to step out of the relationship and cheat on you. And sometimes when men, they have their side woman, when you look at the side woman, she has good body weight, she looks beautiful, it looks like she's taking care of herself, she looks attractive, and all of these things. So yes, you need to continue to take care of your attractiveness. Another reason why men could have less sex in marriage is because women you get overwhelmed with work and taking care of the kids, and that could make you to always be tired, and this could go on for months and years, you always being exhausted and mentally drained, right? So that could really interfere with your sexual desire, and you actually you are genuinely exhausted and tired, and you probably really do not want to have sex, and that continues for many months. So you might need to, look for help to take care of the kids, get a babysitter or a maid or something, or you might even need to change your job so you can get more energy, right? Another way that men could have less sex in marriage is because women, sometimes you become really petty, you become really argumentative, you are nagging, you are violent, you put your hands on the man when you are angry, you create conflict a lot, you are controlling, and being like this could really affect your emotional connection, it could affect your intimacy, right? The man could become less and less attracted to you and do not want to be intimate with you, right? So those are a few ways where men could actually be having less sex when they get married, right? So that is the first reason why men are not really getting married today. They believe, and they heard from their friends who are already married, that they are going to have less sex in marriage, right? So the second reason why men are not really getting married today is because they believe they would lose their freedom, they would lose their friends, they would lose the night out with the guys, and they believe that they would not be able to do their hobbies, and they also believe that they're going to might be exploited financially, right? So some men believe marriage is going to cramp their style. They believe that they might not be able to play sports, watch sports for how many hours they want. They believe they might not be able to work long hours because they believe the woman will be complaining. And women today can be very demanding and very controlling and want all their time, right? Women today, they could be constantly texting and calling to know where the man is and what they're doing. Why are you not answering your phone? Why didn't you text back? When are you coming home? Complaining about them working too long, watching too much sports and whatever. So that is the second reason why men are not getting married today. They believe that they're going to lose their freedom, their friends, their hobbies, and some of them believe that marriage will take a lot out of their bank account, and they might not be able to make big purchases on things that they dream of, and they're just afraid to be exploited financially. So that's the second reason why men are not getting married today. Next reason why men are not getting married today is because they could lose everything through a divorce, right? So 45% of marriages end in divorce, and women initiate 80% of them. So they believe that there's a high possibility that the woman will ask them for a divorce, and they would lose custody of their children and their money. They would lose their money, they would lose their possessions, because maybe they were lacking in emotional connection, or maybe they cheated because of lack of fulfillment in the marriage. So men don't want to get married today because they know that there's a high possibility that they can get divorced, right? Or they choose not to get married again because they don't want to experience another failed marriage. So they don't want to get a divorce, so they're not trying to get married today. Fourth reason why men are not really getting married today is because they can get all the benefits of a wife easily without actually getting married. There are more and more women doing wife duties very early in the relationship, and they're doing it for free without any condition and without any limitations. They're doing laundry, they're making meals, they're cleaning up, they're giving their bodies easily They're taking on emotional load. They're moving in together. They are paying bills. They are helping him build his finances. So men don't really see the need to get married if they can get all these benefits for free. It seems as if women today are desperate for a relationship and really desperate for marriage, so they do all of these things in hopes for a commitment, and most of the time it does not work out like that. Today there's also no pressure from religion to get married, and also back then men used to want to get married to look responsible to their employees, right? When a man is married, it could set off, it could make people think that he is responsible, he's accountable, because he has a family and he has a wife. But today that doesn't seem like as important. So men are not really getting married because they could get all the benefits of a wife really easily. They don't have to commit. Religion is not pressuring them, and it's not so important to them. So basically it seems as if women who are already married today are messing up marriage and making marriage look like horrible, making marriage look like it's scary, it's stressful, it's frustrating and unappealing, right? Marriage look like a disadvantage to men. Women are withholding sex, they are becoming obese, they look unattractive, they're always tired and exhausted, juggling career and family and work. They're nagging, they're controlling, and they're taking away freedom of the man. They're asking for a divorce, they are being abusive, they are giving, right? So those are the reasons why men are not really getting married today. But yes, there are other reasons why men are not getting married today. Like college and university are really expensive today, and the job market is more competitive, so it would take a longer time for men to be financially free. Some men, they want to have a house before they get married with kids. Some men, they want to focus on their career, and having a long-term commitment would take up a lot of time and attention, and they want to do that. Maybe they have been in a bad relationship, maybe they have been married before and it was not successful, and they don't want to go down that scary road again. Some men they witness failed marriages around them, or their parents got divorced, and marriage is just unappealing to them. It's just less appealing, right? And some men are saying today that they don't need they don't need marriage to legitimize their relationship. Even women today are also saying that they don't see the need for government approval for their relationship. So most people are not getting married today for that reason. Another reason why is that women on social media today, a lot of women are complaining about men while they're dating and while in a relationship on social media. So constantly hearing bad things about yourself if you're a man would really scare you away from marriage and having a serious commitment, right? So now the things you can do to influence a man to marry you, influence a man to ask you for a more serious commitment, that could lead to marriage. Well, before I get into that, if you skip the intro, right, I am not telling you how to get a man to marry you. I am not telling you how to get a serious relationship. I am not saying that what I'm going to tell you now is going to guarantee you marriage. It would increase the chance or the possibility of a serious commitment that could influence a man to marry you, right? And what I'm going to say, I'm not telling you that if you do any of these that you would never be cheated on and that you will have a perfect marriage, right? Some people may misinterpret the information that I'm giving here, right? So now I'm going to give you insights, tips on how to influence a man to marry you or to get a more serious commitment that could lead to marriage, right? So one of the first things you can do is to respect him, have respect. So when I say have respect, that would mean you seek his advice before you make any big decision, right? You show that you value his suggestions, his opinions, especially topics like, with finances of the family, what school the children should go, what parenting style should we use, like how are we going to raise the children, like those are stuff that you need to go for his suggestion and his opinion, right? Respect would also mean that you give your undivided attention when he's talking, right? You shouldn't be scrolling on your phone, or you're continuing to do what you're doing and you're not looking at him. You might not be able to listen like that, right? So you listen to him. Even if you're doing something, you take time off to have a peaceful and personal interaction with him almost every day, right? You don't raise your voice, you don't cut him off, you don't debate back and forth when you're talking, you don't agitate him going back and forth talking about one topic, trying to win an argument, right? Respect means you don't talk bad about him in front of his face. You don't criticize him in front your children, in front family members or his friends or your friends. You don't talk bad about him behind his back. You don't use obscene language with him. You don't raise your voice. You don't use hurtful words. You don't use harsh tone of voice. That you show respect. Another way you show respect, you keep all issues within your relationship. You keep it private between you and him. Another way, you don't nag him. You know that he's not perfect. You know that he could forget and make mistakes sometimes. You know when you are wrong. You know when you need to apologize. You never overlook situations. You respect his skills, you respect his talents, you respect his career, and you take interest in his professional duties. And also, you don't cheat and you don't lie. That is showing respect. Next thing you could do, you could care about your body. You need to have a healthy weight. You need to be fit, you need to look fit, you need to be eating healthy, and also providing healthy food for the whole family. You need to be feminine, you need to be sexy, you need to be beautiful, you need to look good every day. Sometimes it's very hard to look good every day, but you need to do your best and look good every day. Some women, they are home and they're always in their bonnet and in ugly clothes and looking bad at home. Some women, they step out in public and they don't care how they look, and you should remember that every time you are in public, if you are in a serious commitment, if you are married, if you want to get married, you should remember that when you step out, you are representing your partner, right? Another thing is you work as a team and you cooperate with him. You're not quick to ask for a divorce. You don't want to take revenge. Your partner, your husband, is not an opponent, is not your enemy. You don't use silent treatment. You behave like you genuinely care about him and the relationship. Another thing, you are calm, you are kind, you are nurturing. You're not a dictator, you're not bossy, you're not controlling. You don't tell him who he can talk to, who his friends should be, what time he should be coming home, how long he should work. You don't get upset really quickly. You don't set unattainable goals for him. You're not always worrying about future problems. You're not always anxious. You're calm, you're kind, you're nurturing. You understand his weaknesses, you understand his flaws. You are affectionate. You have empathy, you can sympathize. You support his goals. You don't let minor things bother you. You show appreciation. You provide emotional support. You forgive him. You ask for forgiveness. That is being kind. That is being calm. That is being nurturing. Right? Next thing, you are emotionally intelligent. You know, you could recognize how he feels, you could recognize how you feel, and you could use that information to know, like, to notice when he's upset, to know when you need to give him space, right? Some men, all men, they need time alone, they need time with their friends, they need time to play sport, to watch sports, to work long hours. They are providing for you. It's already hard to be a man and to be having a lot of responsibilities. And if he's providing for you and the family, you need to cut him some slack, right? And stop nagging and complaining and criticizing him. You should have a good attitude. You should be positive almost every day. Focus on the good things that he has done and the good things that is happening with you and with the family. You should show appreciation and you should show thankfulness. You should also be compromising and you should make sacrifices for him, right? So for example, if he decides that he wants to move to another country to have better business, you talk about it and you just move with him. There's no debate, there's no argument, there's none of that. You sacrifice and you move with him because business will be better in that country, and that's it, right? Another way you can influence a man to get married to you, you can influence him to ask you for a more serious commitment, is that you show that you can manage time, right? If you have a career and you have kids, you might need to plan intimacy. You might need to get help with taking care of the kids. You might need to change your job to get more energy. You would need to talk about sexual desires. You might need to talk about the desired frequency of sex, right? Another thing you can do to influence them is to accept his personality, accept who he is. Don't try to change him. Just accept him for who he is. Next thing you can do to influence him is to be disciplined, right? Every day, the best, you can do your best to prepare healthy foods for him, for your family every day. You wake up on time, you prepare the kids for school. You are on time for dates, you are on time for events, you are dependable. He can count on you. He know that you would fulfill the task that he asks you to do, right? Next thing to influence him to get married to you, to also improve your marriage, is to be honest and be open. You don't withhold important information from him. You are truthful about your feelings. You are vulnerable. You tell the truth and you try new things. You are open-minded. Next thing you could do, you manage conflict with respect. You are calm. You manage conflict with love. You avoid unnecessary arguments. You don't withhold sex to get revenge. Or if you're disappointed, sometimes you want to withhold sex. You're not petty. You're not argumentative. You're not violent. You don't hold grudges. You don't bring up past problems from years ago. Right? That is managing conflict with respect and love. Right? When you use hurtful words and you talk over him, that could really affect your emotional connection and the intimacy over time. Right? You don't need to debate. You don't need to win any argument. Right? You have to know how to resolve conflict. And how you resolve conflict with respect is that you pay attention and listen. You try to understand from his perspective. I'm not saying you have to agree with everything, but you must try to understand from his perspective, and both of you have to get to the root of the problem. You have to take responsibility for your actions. Also, he has to take responsibility for his actions. You both have to be accountable and willing to forgive and willing to ask for forgiveness and to find solutions and to compromise and make sacrifices and then implement these solutions that you have agreed on as a team, right? That is just a brief way how to resolve conflict with respect and love. Next thing you can do to influence a man to marry you, to influence him to have a more serious commitment or to improve your marriage, would be that you are peaceful. You don't overload him with a lot of information when he gets home. You know when to bring up topics according to the time. You reduce complaining. You reduce arguing. You do not lecture him. You do not tell him to do things many times. You do not treat him like a child, right? Next thing, last thing I have is you are submissive. You submit. You let him take the lead in the relationship. You don't want to be making all the decisions in the relationship. You don't want to be wearing the pants in the relationship. You want him to take charge, and you want to show him that you trust his judgment, right? You ask his opinion, especially on big decisions, big purchases. You have to check what he thinks, right? You have to see things from his angle. You have to understand his needs as much as you can whenever possible, right? When you are submissive, you don't interrupt him when he's talking. You don't dismiss his ideas. You don't dismiss his thoughts. You don't dismiss his perspectives, right? You should not be combative. You should not be quarreling with him constantly. This would make him feel like he's lacking in something. This could damage his self-esteem. This could damage his self-confidence. You don't be treating him like he cannot get anything right. You're not constantly correcting him and arguing with him, right? You can respectfully give your thoughts. You can respectfully disagree with him. I'm not saying you're going to always agree with everything that he's going to say, right? So those are the many things you can do to influence a man to marry you, to influence him to have a more serious commitment, and also can be used to improve your marriage, right? So men should not be feeling unhappy to come home to you. Some men, they dread coming home. They go drinking for long hours. They hang out with their friends excessively. They avoid spending time with you. They stay at work for long hours just to avoid you, right? Sometimes they eventually step out of the relationship to feel adored, to feel appreciated, to feel accepted, to feel wanted, right? I was not encouraging women to stay in any toxic relationship, to stay in any unhealthy situation to save their marriage. I'm not saying to avoid divorce if you're being abused, right? I'm not saying in this video that men are not making mistakes when it comes to serious commitment and marriage. Yes, men make mistakes, but this video is not about them, right? Men choose us. They do what they want to do. You cannot force them or manipulate them to get married or to get a serious relationship. I was not putting the blame on women in terms of why men are not getting married today. These are just some highlights about some important points that may be hindering your proposal, right? I'm not saying that if you do all of these, or if you do some of these, that is going to guarantee you marriage, or that is going to guarantee that men are not going to cheat on you. You could have healthy body weight, you could look good every day, you could be disciplined, you could be peaceful, and they still cheat on you, right? But that is not the point of this video. I'm just trying to say that you need to be the best that you can to avoid being in a long relationship without being asked to get married, to have a better marriage, to have the chance of having a more serious commitment, to reduce the chance of being cheated on. You could be cheated on, right? So that's the end of this video, and see you in the next video.